Hey y'all, and welcome back to Raccoon Creek Homestead. It is a very rainy, dreary little day, so I thought that since it's still a little too early to start seeds, that I would go ahead and get my seed starting station up and just basically go through some of my seeds and just label tags. So that's what I'm gonna do. In addition to yesterday, I kind of went around and did some updating on our animals on the farm. So if you would like to check that out. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Basically, it just lets YouTube know that you like what I'm doing. Feel free to like the video, hit the little bell, all of that good stuff. But let's just go ahead and dive in. And also, if you're new, welcome. My name is Sam. We are gardening here in West Central Indiana. We are right on the border of 5B and 6A. And then once I get all of these done, then we can go through the seeds that I have that I'm going to be starting. Right now I'm just going to start with peppers. I may do tomatoes. We'll see how it goes and go from there. Now, okay, so the ones that I've labeled, and again, I saw a lot of these at the farmer's market, so some of the really hot ones, I may keep one just for funsies or to dry, but overall, if they're hot, they were probably in maybe in my gardener's mystery bag, and they will probably all go into the farmer's market, but I will go ahead and start them all, like for example, the habanero red. I may keep one, but I'm gonna start, it's got a seed count of about 15. I'm gonna start all of them, and fingers crossed they'll all go to the farmer's market and hopefully they'll all sell, and if they don't, then they end up in my garden. So this is the first one. Same thing with this one, the mushroom red pepper. And then some of these I have two of, so if there's two stacked, just ignore it because I may have some left. So we're gonna do a lot of sweet banana peppers. And some of these I have like 2 cells for, just because I know that I want to do a lot, because maybe they're really, like the banana pepper, really good seller. Another one I'm gonna do 2 rows of is the ancho grande pepper. Also, friendly reminder that I do have that super hick thing where if I butcher a name, we're just gonna roll with it because it's just me, it's who I am. We're gonna do 2 rows. I may also do 3, I haven't decided yet. The early jalapeno pepper, and as you can see, I have them from like multiple places. Cowboy candy, just to stick the whole thing in the freezer for like stuffed jalapenos. We do a lot of those. These are like the borderline of like perfect spice. The peppercini pepper, the Anaheim chili pepper. This one I'm really excited about. I do plan on keeping a couple of these, even though I know that they're spicy, but I actually want to try to make a hot sauce with this one, and it's the Sugar Rush Peach. And then I've heard wonderful things about blistering these. I will make someone else that likes spicy taste all of the spicy before. Like the shishito pepper, I've seen those blistered and they look delicious, especially like if you dip them in like a cream-based sauce, and that's kind of where I'm like, maybe I can handle it. We're gonna give her a go. The arroz con pollo pepper, which translated means chicken and rice, or chicken with rice. These are a seasoning pepper, and I seed saved some from last year. I didn't actually eat any, but basically I wanted to get enough where I will start these and those, and I will hopefully get enough to cut them and dry them and then turn them into a seasoning pepper like they're supposed to, but just a dry. And then we have Pippin's Golden Honey. I did this one last year. It was really good. It's thin-walled, but it's really pretty, and I use it in the I have like, they're like this big, and they're just like a little planter thing, and I had those in there just because I mean, as you can see, you get the green and the leaves are kind of a darker, and then you get that pop of orange, and they're just really pretty. So I used them for edible landscaping. The next one, and I have two, I just made three. Basically, I have Grand Bell Mix, and then I've got all Grand Bell Mix, chocolate bell pepper that were seed saved from my sister-in-law. I have red sweet bell peppers that I've seed saved, pale yellow bell peppers that I seed saved. I actually got this pepper at the farmer's market. So it may not be true to the parent, but I did save the seeds from it. And then I have the albino bullnose, and I'm just basically trying to, I don't want to say get rid of seeds, but I want to use up some of the ones that I have, which is why I didn't do a huge seed haul this year, because I want to get these in. I want to use them. I want to have a huge garden. I want to like just basically to grow all the things. So, kind of along those lines, the next two are ones that I've grown in the past. They're okay. I may get some backlash from that. Jess from Roots and Refuge really highly talks about the Jimmy Nardello pepper and the Corbaci pepper, and they're okay. They're not my favorite. And that could just be me and the way that I grow them. And the Corbaci pepper doesn't look like the picture. It looks more like that, but they come in fun colors. They're almost like a corkscrew. They're really pretty. They're thin-walled, and I guess for what I want to use them for, I mean, they have good flavor. They're just thin-walled. So we're going to try to knock both of these out. These will probably go to the farmer's market. If I sell them, great. If I don't, that's okay too. They'll go in my garden. But I would rather have space for bell peppers, just because that's what I like. That's what we eat. We eat a lot of bell peppers here. And then again, I bought these on a whim because I don't like hot peppers. If I remember right, I feel like they were on like super sale at the end of the season. And these are the Dragon Cayenne pepper. They are a hot pepper. And I can tell you now, I would not have bought them for myself. Because again, I am a weenie, but I may make hot sauce or something to that effect just for fun. But I know that a lot of people like hot peppers, so that's more for people at the farmer's market. Again, when you're growing for others, you have to think it's not just what do I like, it's what does other people like and what do everyone like. So perfectly fine. And then I also went ahead and labeled my cherry tomatoes. And again, same thing. I got a bunch of cherry tomatoes. I'm trying to give them all 2 years just because the weather was kind of for some of it. But I just wanted some of these seeds I've had, like this one. The bicolor cherry tomato from Trade Winds, it was packed for 2019. So ones like this, the bicolor cherry, I just want to make it to where I can close my containers. So the bicolor cherry is one. I have mixed feelings about this. I'm going to try the Brad's Atomic Grape again. I have never eaten one of these because the plants start out well. They get about 3 inches and then just die. And I've heard people say they just don't do well growing inside, but once you plant them out, they do great. So I'm going to wait until like the last possible probably end of April maybe, before I start these, just in the hopes that they do okay. But there was that one that was like that. That may be the only, yeah, that was the only cherry tomato that did that. I had a couple slicer tomatoes that did that too. One that we did last year, and it was delicious. The black strawberry tomato. It was the one that was on the cover of Baker Creek Seeds last year. Highly recommend. Loved it. It was a very meaty cherry tomato, and it wasn't like it was almost like pushing like a saladette. Highly recommend, delicious. I actually bought more seeds because I'm going to do this entire pack because they were so good. A new one from Baker Creek this year is the Queen of the Night tomato. If it's anything like the black strawberry, I'm pretty excited about it. These look really, really good. It says it's a salad type tomato, or I mean, like a smaller, but, and they're pretty. Like, even if they taste kind of meh, they're still pretty, and they're a good conversation starter. Again, just finishing up some seeds, and like, you ever have seeds and like they're kind of cool and you like almost want to keep a couple seeds, but like you never grow them? This is that one for me, and I don't know why. I don't see where, but I can tell you it was packed for the 2019 because that was when I ordered from these. But the Dancing with Smurfs tomato, and I kid you not, there's probably only like 1 or 2 in here. So we're gonna do these, we're gonna grow them. Yeah, if there's even any at all, but it's taped, so we're gonna assume there's still one in there. The black cherry tomato, again, just growing them to get them done. Again, I don't mean to put my foot in my mouth. I did not care for, and again, we're gonna try them again just to double check. It could have just been a wonky year. The blueberries and the blue cream berries tomato, I didn't care for either one of these. They were very soft and almost squishy, and I like a firmer tomato, and that was all year. They were pretty. They did really well. I just wasn't a big fan of the flavor, so again, we're gonna hope that it was just a weird growing season, which it was very dry and very hot. So the next one is the orange currant tomato. And I'm gonna group that in the same as the spoon tomato because they were the same size. Both of these were really good. I don't wanna say I made the mistake, but I made the mistake last year. I had multiple spoon and multiple orange currant. They're both really good. I think I like the spoon better just because they did have a little thicker skin, but you got more of a pop, and I liked that, where the orange ones just didn't have a wow factor. I guess that's the best way to say it. You only need one, because let me tell you, that one plant from just the one spoon tomato, and it was on the edge, so that could be it too, or I was just around it more. I had so many, like it was so prolific, and so was the orange currant. I think if you go with either one of those, you are not going to be disappointed. Next up is the Sun Gold cherry. I love this one. Now I also have the Sun Globe cherry because all I could remember was it was yellow and it was sun. It's the Sun Gold that I love. Sun Globe's okay, it's bigger, but this one is really prolific. It does fantastic. It tastes fantastic. This one, for a little bit bigger of a fruit, I didn't get near as many. Like if you were to go pound for pound, this one was probably 3 times more in weight than this one. Both great flavor, bigger. I'd say standard, like if you just got like a large, like a red cherry tomato from like a big box store, it's gonna be about that size of a cherry tomato. These are bigger. But Sun Gold is where my heart is. Also where my heart is the Berry's Crazy Cherry. Now these are my favorite cherry tomato. I wish I had a picture. They're white. And man, that thing, it was loaded all year. Again, it's one where I feel really confident saying if you only had one plant, you would never be like, oh, I wish I had more. No, you're gonna be like, holy cow, what am I gonna do with all of these cherry tomatoes? That's the Berry's Crazy Cherry, and they are delicious. Kind of along the same, these were in the mystery bag, not this past mystery bag from M.I. Gardner, but the one before. These are the cream sausage tomatoes. I also really like these. They're pretty similar to Berry's Crazy Cherry. In mine, I think they were just a little bit bigger and like where the Berries Crazy Cherry is a multiflora, so it's gonna put like a lot in like a cluster, and the sausage ones didn't do that. But still good, highly recommended. And then of course you know, can't have a farmer's market stand selling plant starts without just the classic red cherry tomato. It's nothing fancy, but when somebody comes up to you that doesn't know what any of these are, and I have info sheets, like they have a picture and kind of basically what you would see if you look them up online. And we'll get into that when it gets closer to the farmer's market and I get those ready. But just the classic red cherry tomato, where when somebody's like, I just want what I know, this is what it is. So those are my peppers, these are my cherry tomatoes, and then I also have the slicers, which I have not quite finished yet. But we can go ahead and go through those because I know what I'm gonna start. I just haven't written them down and thrown them in here. I also, from a couple years ago, and I think it's already closed for this year, I did, I'll put a link to the Facebook page down below. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's closed for this year, but basically you get 18 or 20, I think, these little envelopes, and it's got tomatoes and chives and herbs and beneficial insects, and it's like tomatoes, and it gives you this cute little envelope. But I'm just going to label those a mystery tomato because it's from 4 years ago-ish. And I don't know what they are. So I'm just going to label them a mystery tomato, and I may keep them all. They look pretty small though. Like I would almost say cherry tomato just because they are so small. But I mean, we will grow them and find out. But along the tomatoes, we're of course going to have, and again, here's where that hick part comes in. Also, just from Roots and Refuge, like, you know how when you learn something and then, like, even if it's wrong and you know it's wrong, but you still say it wrong because that's how you learned it. So this is Dr. Witchy's yellow tomato, and I think it's actually Weich's or Weich's, but I learned at Dr. Witchy's, so it's always going to be Dr. Witchy's to me. So we're going to do that one. It's tried and true. I really like it. I really like Kellogg's Breakfast. One of the ones where I had said I started them out really well and they kind of dwindled for me was the Trip L crop. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and do all of those. Another one like that was the Purple Cherokee. And that was really upsetting because I bought these at big box stores. Maybe that one's easier to see. And I love them. Like, this is one of my favorite slicer tomatoes. So I'm going to try it again, but I'm going to try it kind of along the same lines as the Brad's Atomic Grape, where I'm just going to wait till it gets a little closer. In that same category, what can you see? I wasn't prepared. Is the Great White. Because I also have bought these from big box stores, and it stinks because I really like these. I'm gonna do the Black Beauty again. I tried these last year and my jerk of a dog dug them up because I put an egg in the hole, and I'm pretty sure he smelled the egg. So we're gonna try these again. I've never eaten one of these. We're gonna try again. We do have a deer fence now. It should be deer/dog because they can't get into it either. Amish paste, we're gonna finish these off. I do really like these. But under the same lines of paste tomatoes, we are also going to try the pink Oxheart. I've never grown them, but they looked pretty good. Then they were a meaty one, so we're going to try to use these for like canning. Some of the ones, of course, that you always have to have your classic beefsteak, and I have multiples of them, so we're just going to try to use up all of these. I will have a bunch of these. If you're wondering, wow, you've talked about a whole lot of stuff that you're going to try even to keep and have a bunch of. We have a pretty good sized garden. My goal this year is to get it all raised bed. And if that means just straight rows and nothing fancy, that's perfectly okay with me. But our garden is, I think it's currently 40 by 50. And I think with having the raised beds, I'm going to try to make it 50 by 60. I have the room for it. I'm also going to intermix flowers with those, which I'm not going to mess with today. I know I'm just going to do, I know I love peppers. I know I love tomatoes. They've done well for me in the past. I may not do eggplant at all. I've never had great luck with eggplant. The pests always get to it first. I've kind of been debating on if I just want to maybe start them all and sell them all and then be done with eggplant. If you have some super amazing tip that will make it to where the bugs don't get it, and I don't like to spray things like poison and chemicals because we snack a lot. And also the dogs do come in there with me when I'm pulling weeds or harvesting, and I don't want, like 7 dust, I don't want them to sniff it and it be an issue. So that's kind of that. But back to it, I also have the giant Belgium tomato, the orange peach tomato, and this is new to me this year. I couldn't help myself and I got more. But like some of these, like the watermelon beefsteak, I bought last year and I never grew it. Paul Robeson, which is kind of hard to tell. These are the art packs, which I love. They're so pretty, from Hudson Valley Seeds. Paul Robeson are really, really good tomatoes. They're not huge, but the flavor is fantastic. The white Tomasol is a free one that I got. I'm going to try to fit it in. I have the Hillbilly Flame Tomato. The whole reason I got this is because I live in the middle of nowhere, and where some may take being called the hillbilly as a insult, around here we take it as a compliment. So I know I'm going to butcher this one, so I'm just going to show you the pretty picture. I grew this one last year. I didn't care for it. I felt it had no flavor. But again, I'm going to try it one more time. But we're going to try to, and by try I mean we're going to use up all the seeds, because if I don't like it again, I'm just kind of done with it. And that's kind of the same way with the ones that if I'm going to try, like the purple Cherokee and the great white, if they don't grow well, I'm not going to try to start seeds from them again. I'm just going to cut my losses and either buy one at the store or the purple Cherokee. I just traded one of my pepper starts for the, and I know it can be done because someone else at the farmer's market did it. I traded one of my peppers for their purple Cherokee, and it was a win-win for both of us. But we're also gonna do the black from Tula, and my dang dog dug out quite a few, and some of them I'm not really even sure if they made it. They just kind of got mixed in. But we have Mortgage Lifter, Brandywine Red, Brandywine Black. I don't think I ever started the big rainbow tomato, but they were packed for 2020 and they just need used. These came in a seed swap, but it's the German lunchbox tomato. I'm gonna start all of these because like I'm afraid I'm gonna lose this or it's gonna get wet or something. The old German tomato. I think the next 4 are ones that I did get in the in my Gardener Mystery one. But it's the Vintage Wine, the Floridade, the Tigerella, the German Johnson. I know that's a fun one. And then last year, the Dad Sunset Tomato was gonna be my 1 seed challenge. I lost my dad in 2021, and this was gonna be like my 1 seed challenge, and I wasn't emotionally ready. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that again. Nick had his 1 seed challenge, and he's gonna try that Moon and Stars watermelon again, because we had these like plants that grew by it that were like had huge thorns, and I'm not for thorns. So I may do this again. If I do, I'm only gonna grow 1. It's just gonna be for me. These are not going to the farmer's market because they just, I don't know, maybe I just don't want to talk about them. I'm just not emotionally there yet. But if I do, this will be that one. So that's all I'm gonna do tonight. Is just the cherry tomatoes, the slicer tomatoes, and the peppers. And like I said, I'm just labeling the tags to get them ready. I got my seed starting station up, and we'll put a link to the video that we did last year of what it was and the setup. I can link the Amazon. I'm not an affiliate, but I think I got most of it from Amazon. I can put all of that in the bottom, the trays, the lights, the tags, the ball of it. It'll all be in that description box. But if you are here for more than just gardening and you want maybe animal updates like the chicks, how they're doing, and the goats and just the pigs and all of that, I will put it after this. And also Jeremy started a few projects, so this is like a twofer. I should probably do it in 2 different parts, but it seems so incomplete, so I'm just gonna smush the 2 together, and there you go. So in this project, Jeremy is very carefully moving basically a tree that he cut down for me. It was on the end of its life anyway because the top had broken off, but we decided that we were going to reuse it because it was a softer wood. And in this clip, he has to avoid my rose bush, which is in like that gap between the barn and that raised bed. So he has to watch out for my roses, my raised bed, and the barn. This fallen tree is also going to be the frame for my future blueberry and strawberry bed. And I was just absolutely amazed that he hit nothing. And then he is just lining it up because it is extremely heavy and you can't just push it easy. And then it took both of us to roll it over onto our weed barrier, and then he put in those wooden stakes that way that it wouldn't roll anymore when we add the dirt. And then he's just chopping those off because I would probably trip over them. They're absolutely just the cutest, munching on their feed before bedtime. The fourth one that is obviously different than the rest is a full coon, while the other 3 are coon mixes. She's also a smidgy older, but they have been playing all day long, which is awesome to see. It's like she's been part of the family the entire time, and I am so excited. Jeremy built me what I'm calling the doggy door, but this is obviously, I can fit in it. That way they stay in, I can go in and out as I please. I hope that you can hear them chewing because it is so cute. But that's my pig update. Hey, Mama Nove. I don't have any snacks. Hey, Macchiato. Hey, Mocha. Yeah, that white thing you see? Yeah, that's an ice ring. I don't have snacks for you. For either one of you, I'm sorry. But, look at that. So we are about 2 months out from Miss Nova's due date. Just under 3 months for Miss Macchiato. Hey Mocha, how are you looking? You're what, 2.5 months to go? Literally halfway. Just so you can kind of compare. Food is on their left, babies are on their right, and again, Mama knows. She's like, don't judge me. Don't judge me, chunky. Are you good girls? I give you scratches, my hands are full. And that's my goatee update. I have to turn off the camera so I can love on them. And speaking of goatee updates, Jeremy is clearing out the inside of those orange wooden stakes. That is the future home of the coffee house birthing center. Are you two the only two left? Are you gonna stay here with us? While everybody else went to, chick yoga. While everybody else went to their new home. Until next time, don't have a good day.
Have a great day.
See you next time.
Bye.